Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kyra here with another Infinite Magicraid video. And in today's video, I want to talk about the things I'm excited about for Infinite Magicraid and why I continue to play it. Past couple videos I've been complaining a few things that I think definitely deserve to be called out on, but at the same time I feel like you could be critical of the game and still legitimately enjoy the game at the same time. We can have both. It is totally possible. And also, I like to skew on the side of positivity when it comes to these games because I'm not going to continue complaining about a game that I don't think has any possibility of being good or that I don't enjoy. What I would do is I would just play a different game. That is why I'm always going to veer on the side of positivity, because I still enjoy the game and I still want to play the game. And hopefully the devs listen and respond and actually want to improve the game that we are playing. The things that I'm excited about going forward here in Infinite Magicraid, because the updates that have been happening are actually pretty banger updates, but they're just ignoring the big elephant in the room when it comes to food, that it really is easy to ignore those things. They are really good. So we have one hint here coming up that the bleed characters are going to get the well-needed buff that they need. They're at least getting changed in some particular way. Right here, so November 24th through the 30th, event instruction, free hero regression event will be available for this Thanksgiving, during which the following heroes can be regressed for free: Nidrold, Alina, Natalie, and Hizaro. So these are all bleed characters. The last time they did something like this, it was a blatant buff to Horus, and we got a free regression out of him. So I'm hoping that the case here will be the same, where the bleed characters get a change, and so they just feel like that it's necessary to allow us to be able to regress them if we want to. But I'm hoping that it's just a net positive for all those characters going forward there. So I'm excited about that. Something that we actually know for sure that is a straight W in my opinion, that I didn't know I would want in one of these games, is this update here. They have this hero preview optimization where we can actually look into and see exactly how these characters are going to perform. So I think this is legitimately really cool. Something that no game that I've experienced that's like similar like this, because there's tons of games that are very similar, like Raid, for example, never did anything like this. And then going back even further, if you guys ever played Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, this is something that people have wanted for a while. You know, some kind of custom battler or just something along those lines where we can try these things out. But it seems like they're really making this pretty robust in what we can do. We can even choose the exclusives here. Currently at the moment, it looks like it's purely for Arena, but I think there's a lot of cool testing that we can do with this, especially understand like defense. I want to try. I want to see how much our damage improves. You know, when it comes to crit damage, we can really try to narrow in on affected here and see what's actually worth it or not. Stuff like that. Like, for example, speed is going to be a big one. Like what speed disparity we need before we can like lap people. Like all of these things I think are going to be really interesting to see with this, and we get to just try it. And a ton of different characters. If you have an idea in Arena that you want to try out, you can just do this instead of having to waste all the resources on the character. This is so cool, and I've never seen a game do something like this. I think this is pretty legit. And if it wasn't for them, you know, blatantly ignoring the other big elephant in the room, I think this would just be straight W's all around. And what main thing is, I just don't want to get lost in complaining about one particular thing, but then ignoring all the fun things that happen. Because whenever a community, I've noticed, just gets so negative about a particular thing, like I'm not trying to invalidate that feeling. I'm just trying to like, let's just look to the things that we actually got going forward, because you know there's always going to be a grass is greener. There's always going to be another game. But right now, I think there's a lot of good things happening in Infinite Magicraid, and I do want to say that I've never been sponsored by these guys, and I'm not in the content creator program. These are just legitimately my thoughts about this game. And so, you know, in the beginning, I almost accepted a sponsorship. I didn't even play the game. They wanted me to do an ad. I accepted it, and then I just got lazy and blew it off. So, you know, I'm the one that fumbled the bag here. I could have made a couple $100, but before I even played this game. Those are the main things I'm excited about. But right now in the game currently, the things that I'm looking forward to doing are, I like the guild boss, and I like being able to push through this. I'm trying to one key this right now. I do about 90 million per key at the moment, and I want to push this up, see what actually works here. I'm looking forward to trying a higher exclusive Ben Austin, and the big thing though is pushing up to the higher guild boss here. The fact that they added a number 6 here to this, I think is really cool, because this is going to be really difficult unless you're just this super mega whale to be able to 2-key this 400 million. Having a 5% chance shot at these epic Phantom Dragon Eyes every day is very cool. Also 8% for a Supreme Rune. all this stuff is actually pretty sick rewards. And then the guaranteed stuff is awesome too, like guaranteed excellent rune, guaranteed copper ingots here. So we're going to be getting a ton of 6-star pieces of the combination sets. For example, down here, I think the accuracy set is probably going to be the way to go when it comes to these guys, when it comes to the guild boss here. But like, that's really fun. Pushing through the faction abyss. One thing that I thought was a big W that they reverted, I want to say they reverted it on accident. They need to look into it, but they were supposed to upgrade this right here from stage 21 and below. Or 21 to 30, they were supposed to upgrade it. So it went live. It was like right when I got off work, from like 8 p.m. to midnight my time and Alaska time. It was significantly easier to do this. Like, I was stuck at, I want to say 21. I think I beat maybe 21, but or I 2-starred 21, I think. And then I couldn't beat 22 and I couldn't beat 23. And then with the update, what happened was I felt like the waves were just as hard as they used to be. Maybe they're a little easier, but the waves are just as hard. But the boss did way less damage, like significantly less damage. And then they did a hotfix for something else. But I think what happened, I don't know, developing, this is just my tinfoil hat theory here, where they had the saved, damage from the previous patch there, and then that got kind of overlaid into with the hotfix, and so now the damage is just as hard as it used to be. And so this is super hard content. The fact that I have these characters here and I'm still getting bodied by the boss on stage 24. So it's like, I like that the game's hard here, and I like that even if I have the characters, like let's say I had 5 characters, like I just leveled one up, it wouldn't necessarily mean I would beat it. It's still difficult content that we need to figure out the best teams for to be able to progress, because I think that's where like the true difficulty should lie. But at the same time, also another W I was going to say is like them putting Agatha here instead of 600. I think that's really good that I wanted to highlight. So it's like, at the same time, I don't want to just only highlight the things that they do bad. I want to have a little positive reinforcement and a little negative reinforcement on there. So it's kind of the way I look at it. And then the things I'm excited for, I think it's fun trying to beat these stages, like figuring out the puzzle that is trying to beat these floors. And now I'm trying to figure out floor 30. Like, this has been fun for me. Right now, I feel like I'm close. I've gotten him down to like 30% health, so I think I just need to get a little stronger, maybe get the speed a little better, and then be able to beat that, get those shards there. And then it's fun trying to try these two. I know it's difficult to level the characters up, but once you actually have the characters, it becomes fun. But that's pretty much like the main things there. I feel like the big tedious part for me that I really need to do more of, but this is like where it gets to the point where if it's a struggle, I don't even like doing it. It's Advanced Arena. I feel like this right here, especially for newer players when you don't have that many characters, is just boring as hell. And right now, it's so laggy on BlueStacks. Like, I try to do this on my phone because it's so much faster on my phone, but like, look how laggy this is. I feel like it's already a very time-consuming thing, and then you put it on BlueStacks, and then look how long it takes to actually be able to get in, and then you have to auto all these battles. Like, this is a free win right here. And it's just tedious to do this. And so maybe they'll do something where we can start autoing our battles or something like that. Like, that would be dope in my opinion. But this is probably the big boring part of the game in my opinion. And a lot of times I find myself just not even doing these, which I should be, because it's, that's when it's a problem in my opinion in the game, when it's like blatantly good rewards. Eventually I'll be able to get Ackman out of doing this, and I still don't even bother because it's that boring. But overall, there's a lot of really good things going on in the game that I don't want to miss out on, and don't want to like constantly be thinking about like, well, they haven't fixed the food part, like, because that's a valid criticism, but at the same time they have a lot of good, and if they fix the food part, then it's like, holy crap, the game's really good again. So that's kind of how I like to look at it. But curious what your guys' thoughts are below, and with that, guys, I am out of here. Peace.